because I only work on live stream, and it seems YouTube is asking for my rate. Am I satisfied or not? Well, I don't get very effective except if they really wowed me. So, welcome back everyone. If you watched my last video, Funny 2, or whatever was that, seriously, whatever was that, um, yeah, I just said in that video, I discovered I have a missing video, and apparently the recording doesn't stop after I stream, thanks for some of the wacky option in OBS. And I download the trim video program thing, and I start trimming, and I will get my video, and after this finish I will upload it to YouTube and try to trim my older videos, delete the FLV things, and keep a clean copy of my videos. Thanks God this is not my 600 video or whatever. And I need to rename them. I don't like 20161111. I need to know what video is this. I don't want to just open it and check it and compare it and stuff. So, to be honest, I screwed up my schedule by not being able to sleep thanks for drinking too much coffee, and I wasted more than a day without working. Well, I can consider it as a break, as my youngest brother suggested, and instead of feeling as it was a waste. And my mind actually is not set to work yet, but I need to start working. So let's close some of these pages that we don't need. Check the live stream. Oops, it's a yellow line. That's mean it's not very good on streaming now. Stream health. Maybe because I'm doing more than one task. Which, sorry for that. Which doesn't do anything with that. It doesn't have to do with that. It just, more coffee. That's all what I need to screw up my schedule again. Let's this thing just. So what is this? What is this? This is, I made a name for it. It's a data integrity system. Yeah, every group of functions I just group them and call them a system. This makes me feel like I'm doing a great grand thing. And yesterday I just finished a part for the data integrity system. See how grandiose it sounds. And let me reset the timer for the work, because I should at least give an hour in the stream. Check the missing data only for the animation system. See, another grandiose name, grandiose. And the only part that it can create partial data for the object is the equipment and the active action. But there's a bigger issue I just noticed. And the system, I need to apply it on the skills too. Oh wow, only 5 tabs. It's look way much smaller because of the animation system. Animation system was only 2 tabs and 1 placeholder, and now this one became way much bigger than this one. Anyway, so the problem is deletion stuff. Speaking of, I didn't program saving and deletion these yet. Neither program these in a good way yet. Neither this, oh god. So, but I'm just, to be honest, I just wanna do the prototype for the game engine, and this is taking too much time. So I'm trying to finish the integrity system so I don't screw up the save and the load while I'm testing the game engine. I'm thinking about delaying doing the data missing system for the skills because I'm not going to use skills anytime soon. But in the same time, I believe I should finish this crap while it's fresh, so I don't just need to waste time on relearning what I was doing. So let's return to the main topic. Whenever you delete something that is used by other things, it will just save the game happily and it will never notice till you try to load it or try to run the game. Like for example, if I add an animation called Link, Link from Zelda or Mario from Super Mario, and you made a character called Mario and you loaded the SP, the sprite itself from Mario, and then you went back and deleted the sprite. You see, the game will continue, show the name in here, but the viewer, when they try to print it, it will screw up and it will crash. So, I'm not sure what to do about that, to be honest. I could make a call try catch and just ignore any call for a missing sprite. But that's not a very smart solution if you ask me. Or I could finish the tracker and say you cannot delete these things unless if you delete all the objects that using it. I mean, why would you add a character for Mario and it uses Mario sprite and all of a sudden you delete the sprite for it? You either change it or just... And that's the question, can you change it? No. What if you want to change it? Here there's no change button. So, So yeah, this is an issue. I mean, I myself would hate this system. I will hate this if this is the final version. I can add a sprite and use it and then I cannot change it. What the hell? So yes, it's easy to say, well, make a replace button. Alright. This is only one issue, by the way, as you can see. Let's see, what do I have on here? What the hell is this? Oh, yeah. So, let me try to add more problems and try to solve one by one. So, this is one issue. Let's see what kind of other issues do we have. So, let's try to make another scenario. What if I made a creature and delete it? Doesn't matter because it will delete all the data that related to the creature with it, so it doesn't matter. So there's no animation will be left because animations live in an animated particle. But if I'm viewing an animation for a certain animated particle, and I delete the animated particle in here, and then I come back in here and click on one of the animations on the list, and try to play the animation, actually the first second that I click on it, it will try to load the data in here, and it will screw up everything, correct? Because the object doesn't exist anymore. You see, whenever you select one, it checks if this one is selected or not, and this one is already selected, and oh, actually, this guy saved my ass. This guy will try to load the pointer with the right object. Actually, this guy saved my ass. Interesting. I'm glad I made this function after all, because this guy will go and check. Wrong function, sorry. This guy will go and check the dictionary if it has one, either creature or weapon. Both of them are animated particles, and maybe later on I'll add the third one. Creatures can be NPCs, players, monsters, enemies, whatever. So it's more generic. Weapons could be turrets or weapons, more generic again. And depends on the game, the weapon could be an item or could be an equipment. Based on the game. So these are generic stuff. So don't be confused by these names like if they were other video game standard names or something. So this scenario we don't have any issue with. Let's take a look on deleting an animation. What happens if I delete an animation? Nothing. No. The action condition. This one. We need to make sure that they are not using it. So let me enlarge the font so I don't type I don't type for myself only. I was listening to some YouTubers again, trying to learn from them. Actually, I used to listen to them before I start my YouTube because I just wanna hear good advices. And apparently I really need a noise detector. Whenever I play the videos to trim, to check, to do whatever, my voice annoys me to hell. I don't know, I don't like my voice at all. And there's noises and everything. Maybe the best way to deal with deleting animations is to ask the user so let's see what's next. This is whatever. Oh god. Let's start with accessories first before we start with the accessory accepted tab and making new accessories. And actually this part is not functional because I might remove it completely, making accessory slots for the main See, even if I try to describe it, doesn't make sense. The main frame, the main image for the AP itself. So let's edit a file. And let's go to APs. And when we select Walker, sorry, this one, do you see this frame? This is a certain frame that's saved in an animated particle. It shows the default frame. It just the default frame position. It just doesn't make any sense because whenever you play with a character, he's always on consistently. You usually play an animation for idle, so he's not stand still like this. So I don't know why I made this functionalities that there's a frame for the same animated particle, which is considered the main or the original, the origin frame. I forgot what to call it. I either call it the original frame or the main frame, and each side has one of them actually. And this one I didn't do anything because it doesn't save a reflected side in here. Unlike Act 2, it can save the reversed one, which it doesn't view in here because I didn't program it and I didn't choose it either. So even after I program it, I need to choose something to reverse. So yeah, this image I can add accessory layers to them, accessory slots. Is that even required? I mean, why would I show guns, capes, hats, and armors for an image that I will never use in the game? I thought about using this only in one place as the icon of the unit, like before you select the character, or when you build the characters as an RTS. But once again, this doesn't make sense because I could do that in several ways. So yeah. Oh well. So I didn't program this part because it will take around 2 hours or 1 hour, and testing it and saving it and adding it and deleting it will take around 2 hours. And I have too many work to do already. I mean, look at this. This is only one silly part of the map simulator, the game file. And you have several systems in here. It just I mean, you can test it on the engine later on. It was working, but I screwed it up. Because, yeah, I screwed it up. You can have mini maps, you can have script wizard, you can have background setting. I need to change this and develop it and make it movable backgrounds, transparent backgrounds, stuff like that. So it's a huge system. The objects need to be resizable. The items, I've done nothing to them. The prototypes, they are not ready yet to be placed. A start position for the player, stuff like that. A lot to do, and this thing is taking all my time. So where were we? Alright, no more coffee. So we can focus a little bit in here. So when I deleted an accessory, I'm a little bit confused. What the hell is going on? A list of accessories, an accessory list. This doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? So this is a list of accessory tabs. So what happens if we delete an accessory type? So once again, before I do that, I'm not sure about the spelling of procedure. It is one of these words that I always get screwed up with. Always. Oh, yeah. There is no E before D. No, there is an E before AD. Oh well. So we need to delete both. Wait a second. Yes, we need to delete all the accessories that have this type and all the accessory slots that use this type from here. And because of that, this thing will be considered a missing data. Look at this. Even though this is confusing. Give me a second. The layer slot doesn't have the accepted type. What have I done before, I wonder? By the way, I didn't test these heavily, these systems. I didn't test the slot heavily. Tim animation layer slot. Layer slot have my point, width, height, and angle, and nothing else. Let's close these two and check the third tab at the create game to see what the heck is going on. So we have Tim AP3, layer slots, but I don't see any temporary layer slot. Where is this variable? I don't see it. Why the declaration is here? Wait a second. Where is this thing, declaration? It's in the view tab for some reason. What's going on? Maybe when I move the function that's related to the view to thing, it was, no, it shouldn't. I mean, why this guy is here? There's no reason for him to be here. Should be in here. Or maybe these two, I should keep them always on the top. Alright, we have animation layer slot and we have a layer slot. So what the hell is going on? What's the difference? So animation layer slot has more than one layer slot. Okay. Because the accessory layer slots changes on every animation frame when it's placed. So if you put an animation slot, a gun, in the hand, and the hand will just move and wave around, each frame the slot will change. So this one is the physical frame. This one is the physical frame, the position and the angle and enlargement and stuff. And this one is accepted type in here. So this one could be empty, and this is a problem. So when you try to add one, apparently if it is empty it's alright, it doesn't mind. It doesn't mind if it is empty, that's weird. So, and to be honest, I don't think it will crash because, yeah, it won't crash, but it doesn't make sense. Why do you want to add animation layer slot and it doesn't accept any kind of layer slots? Let's try it out. It seems it won't hurt. And even if I play it in my mind, if I made this and run it on the engine, it won't mind, because what the thing does, you see each character have equipments, and each equipments have types in here. And actually I didn't connected the equipments with the animation accessory slot for some reason. And there's no way to justify myself, but I was thinking of the following. The character shouldn't hold same layer slot redundantly. Like if I have one hand weapon, that's the problem. I didn't connect him. I didn't connect the animation slot with the equipment. And you have two hand slots, one on the right and one on the left. I did a program anyway to say, hey, this slot is for this weapon and this slot for this weapon. And I could easily actually put the one in here, a combo box to do that. So it's not very difficult actually. And I might need to make these changes, but I was thinking, yeah, I want them not connected because, how to put it, they are not the same thing. Sometimes you equip a cape and it doesn't show in some games, sometimes it does. Some of the games doesn't support the show of the armor, and sometimes based on whatever it shows, so it's not connected. Some of the weapons doesn't show, for example, in some of the games. Maybe I make a game and it doesn't have an accessory slot, but it have equipments. So the player have actual equipment that he can hold guns in them, but there is no animation slot. The animation doesn't get affected at all. It just maybe easier for the artist to draw the character fire with a generic weapon, like a generic shotgun, a generic gun, a generic bazooka, and the game have billions of these guys, and the animation itself have the whole animation of the bazooka as part of the animation. It's not a slot. Um, but this system is for weapons that have different animations. So he holds a one-hand weapon, and based on a one-hand weapon, it will change on the animation. He's holding it without redrawing the animation. So this is the whole thing. That's why I didn't connect it. But how can I tell if I have like a left hand and a right hand, and both of them can hold the same hand? And the game, the character just, I gave him in the game 2 guns. How can I tell which one is which one? So yeah, it's not connected. I might make the connection in the game engine. So it depends on the game. And this is what I really love about my system. Hopefully when it finishes, it will show all these miracles, because it sounds like miracles. And hopefully they will work without screwing me up. This game file is not concrete, it's an abstract, but it helped me to organize the data that I need, the generic data. So if I said Walker in the animation aim has let's call it one-hand weapon, and we draw the gun or the small one-hand weapon here, and when we move the frame, we move it here. Unfortunately, it's really hard to see the yellow thing. Even the blue. I always complain about the color thing, and I never changed it. I'm too lazy to do this, unfortunately. Okay, finally a good color. So I'm drawing where's the slot is, the center, and where's the angle. And this thing is not working for some reason, the angle, and I don't know why. So you see, when the character play this animation, the one weapon should go to this direction where I pointed, and let's add it after the main animation. And as you can see, this thing didn't accept any one of these the accepted layers. So for some reason it didn't save. Did I program the save button? I wonder. I didn't click on save this time. Let me click on save. Let me click on it. No, it didn't save. So I need to check that out, why it didn't save. But this is the whole thing. This is the whole thing. Man, I'm taking all my fucking sweet time for this. Sorry about that. And sorry for saying the F word. Yeah, I did program save. It just said return. Silly me. So one of these things that I need to do. 7, 5. Or do you know what? So whenever I delete an accessory type, it should delete it from the accessory slots and equipment and the accessory themselves. Save changes. On save. It will take more than this. It will take more than this to figure out all the things that I need to do. And I need to be patient with this. Deleting accessories actually doesn't matter because they are the lowest in the hierarchy of, what do you call it, on dependency. No one is depending on accessories themselves. Like for example, if I made one hand type weapon, one hand type accessories, and then I add one hand spear, one hand gun, one hand sword, daggers, one hand wands, one hand staffs, whatever, one hand chairs, whatever. And if I delete one of these, no one cares. Because all the guys accepting a type of the accessories. Like in an animation, it accepts this type. In the equipment, it accepts this type. And of course, once again, maybe the game accept some kind of weapons, like let's say a warrior doesn't hold staffs and wands, and yet this guy would say one hand. It doesn't matter because these stuff that the characters, classes and stuff is not in here. This is animation related. It doesn't matter in here. If you want to make a class that can accept some kind of weapons, you do it in here in the skills. This guy can add attributes, you can add tabs, accepted tabs, and you can do everything in here. So yeah, in the stats itself, it's like a passive skill, holding swords, holding one hand swords, two hand swords, and these stuffs. All of these considered stats, so, or attributes. So you don't do it in there, you do it in here. So this is animation related only. The same with accessory slots. If you delete an accessory slot, doesn't matter. It's the lowest type of priority. I mean dependency. If you delete it, no one will cry over them. Yeah, I'm doing the check while I'm doing this in the front of the camera. I didn't do the check on before. And I don't want to miss any of these suckers. So this one, if you delete it, everything gets deleted. This one will delete 3 things. Equipments. When you delete an equipment, the only guy will get affected is this guy actually. On the second page. But once again, it doesn't matter. It will become a missing data problem, and we already solved this problem. So deleting equipment doesn't affect the whole fiasco, the whole system. It doesn't fit to say the whole fiasco in this situation, but the situation itself can anyway. Deleting states and action lists. Yeah, deleting states will be an issue. It will be a damn issue. I don't want to delete the whole act. or action conditions because of deleting the state of deleted the state. But this is what we have to do, unfortunately. And actions will be freaking confusing to everyone in hell. So you see the actions confirm. My language vocabulary is going up recently, and I don't know why. I'm trying to remember the word. Make off, but there's a C word that's a word that starts with C that make off. It's just like, wow, something is wrong with me, seriously. What did I drink? Anyhow, a few actions make something called an action set, and the set must be unique. So if you have an action A, B, and C, and you have an action AC, let me draw that because I don't like to be vague, and I know how vague is this sound. If I describe it by myself, yeah, it's so obvious for myself, but for anyone who's listening, if he can continue listening to this bad comedian show. So we have A, B, and C action set, and we have A and C, and all of a sudden I delete B, we have a conflict. And this shouldn't exist in the system. So deleting these actions is horrible. It's really freaking horrible. And changing them is even worse. So what kind of solution can we provide? I wonder. Excuse me. Let's make another condition. Yeah, my vocabulary is good up. Another example. If I have A, D, and C, and A and B and C, changing it won't be as much a problematic as deleting it, because if I try to change it to B, it will fail because you cannot B already exist. So, and if you change this into Z and you try to change this into Z, it will fail because Z already exists. But deleting this and deleting this will cause a problem. So the easiest way to solve this, and this is the first example or the first solution pop up to my head before I saying any of this, is to delete the whole set by deleting the whole action condition. And unfortunately, this is the only solution I can think of. The problem is, yeah. Well, I'll provide the user a choice, of course, to delete the combinations or changing them. I mean, it won't go immediately and delete everything in the same second that you try to delete or whatever. It will give you a choice to change stuff before you delete them. So, yeah. What I was going to say. I was going to mention something about saving the action conditions. I really don't feel that well, do I? And why this thing stopped? Oh, it didn't. Oh wow, it's taking forever. So let's go return to the call. Maybe the thing that I was mumbling about will return back. Deleting the action condition won't make anyone cry for missing them. So there's no problem in deleting these suckers. But unfortunately, deleting those will cause some havoc. Saving them will require changing them. So once again, deleting equipments will make this a missing data. Deleting an equipment type will yeah. Deleting accessory type requires deleting accessories, both equipments and accessory slots. And lastly, delete them from action condition. Equip condition. I believe the equip condition live in the equipment set. Lord, why did I start this system? Yeah, sometimes I say very negative things. Please don't take the same steps that I do. Please don't become more negative like me. It's just bad, really bad. And to be honest, I used to be very, very negative person. When I was younger, when I was like from 6 to 27, and in 28 included, around 28, I realized it was the source of all my misery actually, and why I was facing a lot of difficulties in my life. Being negative is just, it was the way of living, the way of becoming better, the way of becoming serious and recognizable, or not recognizable, usable, useful, and doing something that worth a while. And it wasn't. It didn't result in anything good. And I'm still paying for that. I'm still trying to do something useful. I'm kind of late, 31, and I'm still haven't made any kind of success, but I'm trying. I'm trying. And this is positive. This is really a positive way of thinking. I'm trying and I'm doing my best now. If I was 21 or 26, I will hammer myself to death and give up way long time ago. Way before this, by like 5 or 7 years. But this is the whole thing. This is the whole thing. I'm still saying some of the stuff I used to say, but I don't really mean it. Yeah, words are failing me today, and I apologize for that. I cannot explain myself in that way or in a good way, and I'm totally screwed up. So the equip condition is a set inside the result animation. Alright. So let's go back to this and delete this, doesn't matter because this is a reference. This is a reference, and deleting this will cause missing data problem, so no problem in here because that problem already has been solved. And let's come back, let's go back and check all the save. What will they do? So changing the name of a weapon, a list, or creature should changing the name of this sucker from the list or from the weapon. And it will update all the APs. So this problem solved. I need to close all these things because now 70,000 million of them are open. Alright. So the save in here doesn't matter, the delete doesn't matter. Adding animation, saving the animation. Once again, the only problem when you save an animation and this one is selected, it might screw up, And I don't want to reinitialize all the data in here because you might, we're going to do something like, yeah. Yeah. Let me try something. Yeah, the system integrity definitely is a hard thing to do. And you don't want the program to crash because of silly things. For example, let's pretend that we are dealing with the animation of Walker of Walker, and let's try to change the name of Walker to Walker 2 and come back and look at that. We still have the animation here, but this one is not selected, and when you click on play it's still playing for some fucking reason. Because the temporary AP didn't get restarted. It kept the old temporary AP thing, the pointer. So actually this one point to Walker 2 now, because it's a pointer, it's not an actual data. But this thing doesn't tell. And it's the same for most of these things actually. So if I don't want to reinitialize, then at least I need to pick up the name again. I mean, if this one was Walker 1, we need to pick it to Walker 2. Either to do that, which just seems more professional, more beautiful, more everything. Especially look at that, when I choose Walker 2, I lost animation for some reason. second. What the hell does that mean? Oh shit! It's actually removed the creature from the dictionary because you cannot have the same key. Give me a second. No, this is totally fucked up. This is totally fucked up. Yeah. Mm. So I'm glad at least we caught a problem. And instead of this sucks, let's do something else. I will try to add a clone to the sucker with a new name. We don't have a deep clone, do we? So we might need to do a deep clone because seriously, I made a deep clone when I was dealing with the game file, but it's part of, I feared it's part of the censored data that I don't want to show on YouTube. And I'm glad there's a break after 5 minutes. Actually, I was working behind the camera for a few minutes too, and that's why I feel a little bit more tired than usual. So let's add this to the list. God. Why this is in here? Yeah, I was going to mention them in here. So this is, yeah, this is so freaking awful. This is a little bit tricky because I need to check out all the APs in the game, in the GUI I mean, and memorize which one was selecting AB2 because the items will get deleted anyway. And after updating the combo box, I filled the name to these suckers. But in the same time, make clone to AP to use on save function, and 6 on animation save, change the name for all selected animations and other tabs. So it is similar to the AP in here. Whenever you change the name of the AP or change the name of the animation, and this one is selecting the animation here, it should remember, it should check this combo box and change the name of the thing, and it will still point to the same object because the pointer won't change. But something is bothering me. This one has deleted the old one. This one completely deleted the old one, and yet when I selected the animation, God, what's going on? And I clicked on a play, it played the animation like if it was nobody business or whatever. But the animation lives inside the AP, which got deleted. What the hell just happened? So yeah, I have no clue what happened, to be honest. I need to make some debugging and check what is going on. Unfortunately, these things belongs to the oldest code I wrote on this page, and when I wrote it, even though it wasn't a long time ago, only 6 months or something, it wasn't so organized because I thought this is just a fast hack to save very, very generic data for the game. And all of a sudden I liked the idea of the data driven, and I carried on way too far, I guess. So when I save the data, it should check all the things that using the animations and make sure it update the name in them. So let's check the accessory slots. Does the save of accessory slot will make any big changes? Of course, I will make another routine to check these stuff when I'm using the system for the first time. When I add actual data, I'll try to track of all kinds of changes and what kind of havocs could they do when I do the changes. Like if I save or delete this one, what kind of things will get affected. So I need to keep that in mind when I use the program for real. Changing the accessory tabs, I already wrote that in here. Changing the equipment, I already wrote that in here. Where did I write that? No, I didn't write anything. So let's add it. Saving action conditions are not going to do any kind of crap, so are not that important, not that a big deal. I believe that's it. It's funny to say that's it as if it was a trivial thing, because this is a lot of crap. This is really a lot of crap to do. And I don't think I'll finish it in a few hours. I believe it will take around 3 hours, not 1, not 2. And I need to be really in a good mood, because now I cannot even pick my boards and I cannot even think. Well, before I start ranting to the camera for a few hours, I'll say thank you for watching part 5, and see you in the next part.